Hey people, it's the Broken Puppet, and this is how to draw an old school noose. Enjoy. Right people, how to draw an old school noose. Now this one's fairly simple, but the good thing with this, it also teaches you how to draw rope when it comes to tattoo style. Get yourself like a teardrop shape. Quite wide, say about. So you can put it straight or you can put it at an angle. I like mine to be slightly at an angle, so I'm going to have this one going slightly here. Off the top, just draw a little rectangle, line coming off, nice curve coming off of that. So the shape of my oval is coming off of this. So teardrop starts in this, coming around there. And what you need to do, just darken this line up a touch. Make sure you're doing this bit of pencil. Then bring a parallel line just on the inside, leaving about the same gap the whole way around. Then this rectangle, just divide it into 3 or 4, so like the gaps are roughly about the same width as this. So I'm going to do this one in 4, and that coming off of there, little line there. And now what you want to do is you've got to choose the angle you want the rope at. Now when you go to one angle, you just want to stick with it. So what we're going to do is bring little diagonal lines about the same distance apart the whole way around this, and as this curves, I'm curving this diagonal line ever so slightly. So you see, you're just carrying that diagonal line around. By the time you get like circled around, it'll be upside down the other way around. Just do the same thing in these bits. So you just put a little bit there. Do the same things up here, just divide this into 2 lines, roughly about the same distance apart. And those bits going across there. And this little one just here, going like so. Now if I grab me pen, balls of earth to blender off again, yep. There's my pen. Right, and then what you want to do is every time you have one of these curved bits here, you know, the diagonal lines, you want to basically start an S curve. I mean, you're not going to notice on this first one, but you'll notice on the second. So where you got the outside line, you bring a curve across that bit, come through that diagonal line, then curve again to the next diagonal line. Curve out, across that diagonal line, curve back to where that next one starts. You just repeat this process all the way around. And as long as you stick to this process, you really can't go wrong. So just keep doing that S curve, so there, cross that diagonal line to the next one. Down the line, cross the diagonal line to the next one. Curve the side, cross that diagonal line to the next one. You know, all the rope is basically just a repeated pattern. But it's a very handy tool to use, especially not old school and near traditional. It's a very handy thing to know how to do, because it just works in all of the designs, even if like it has nothing to do with it. You can put a bit of rope in the background. See, and then you get your rope curve. Do the same thing on this top bit. So bring the curve up, there, up the diagonal line, and when you get to the end, just curve it around and bring it back. So you see, you've got the 4 built up. The trick to looking the best it can be is even consistency. Now this bit's just going to fly off into nothing, so I'm just going to have this flicking off into a few little lines just off the edge. And I'm going to have a little few frayed edges, so just every now and again just going to throw a little couple of lines just off the edge. Nothing crazy, just a few little flicks. Not too many, just here and there, like so. Now this one I'm going to have kind of going into, like if it's going into the skin, so I'm just going to make a nice curve like that, like an S curve, come back down a touch, and curve this out. Curve this around, underneath the rope this time, and curve this back up to where that one starts. Now you've done that, just get your rub up that pencil work. And then with your shading, you've got a couple of choices. You can either just blend down, like I'll show you, and then I'll show you how to add each individual piece. Usually I just shade down and colour it in, but I'll show you how to do it both ways. So that you just start your black whenever it's like tucked under something. See here, like the rope goes underneath this bit, under this bit, so that's where you start your black. You can do this with pens, pencils, paints. You know, these are just Winsor & Newton Flex brush markers. They're not too expensive, they're really good. You've probably seen me use them a million times. Flip my grey just into the edge of that. Flip my slightly lighter grey just off the edge of those ones. And then get my lightest grey. And just flip that out. So you got that way, which is always pretty cool. That's generally the way I normally do it. And what I do sometimes, if you've got like a block shape like this, I'd have the shade kind of going up in the middle, just to one side sometimes, like so. So you just have a little bit going up that centre part, and you just blend out as you get to the sides. Just to give a sense of like curvature. If you want classic old school, just go from the side. But that's generally how I would do it. If you want to colour more individually, like I'll do now, I recommend just bringing the line in from one edge and leaving a little highlight to the sides. So you see here, I come from this corner, leave that highlight. From this corner, leave that highlight. And just do that the whole way around. I find it's best not to try and bend the other way, because I know the light source will come from the other side afterwards. But because it's old school, it just doesn't work. Well, it can do, but it's just not often done. So you see, you just keep bringing it in each time, just leaving that little white edge. Like so. That's always an option. I quite typically like to add a bit of red in it. Not in the rope, but just around it, so it gives it a little hint of colour. And normally I do either the Noose in black and white or add some brown. Then I'll add some red usually. Now if I can find me a blender, have I got a second blender? Or is that the only one I have? Oh. And I normally get a blender and I'd use this end, but this has gone a bit dry because I accidentally left the lid off overnight. Oh no, it's a bit wet now. It might be okay. We shall see. But you've seen this trick before, you know, you get like a pro marker or something. If you're using paint, just water it down, just hold the tip to it and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, because it dried a little bit earlier, I'm going to leave it on there just a bit longer. Now, you'll see the tip start to go white when it really absorbs it. Let's see if it's doing the trick. Yeah, it's starting to do the trick. There we go. So for this one, I'm just going to start going across. And just keep working out. I'll do that again because I didn't do it very well that time. Should only put them when using pro markers, you know, brush markers are a lot better. Trying the other tip, I've never really tried the other tip too much. That seems to be doing a bit better. Because what it does, it basically dilutes it. So when you work from side to side, the colour slowly comes back. And then it fades out. Just let this absorb into it. Yeah, now it's a bit better. So you see, you just have like some red coming down from it. You can have little splats around the outside if you wanted. I'll just quickly do one more just on the outside. Absorb into it. As it dries on this will disappear, and this bit will disappear just where it's wet. Because this is just clear coat, that's all this is. This disappears to nothing. So the idea is it just gives a nice fade out cheek colour pens, as where normally it would just be block. A little bit there now. Blood drops if you want. Yeah, the extras you add are really up to you. But yeah, that's the basic concept. That is how you draw an old school noose. I hope that helps. I hope you like it. I hope you check out my videos and The Broken Puppet, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.